Hello and welcome to FPL Mate, your best mate for fantasy Premier League content for the 2020-21 season. My name is Dan and today you can see I'm in the festive spirits. I am of course in the festive spirits because it is Christmas time, or at least around Christmas time, but I'm also in pretty festive spirits because pretty good score in Game Week 14, so we are going to be talking about that. But today, it's all about my Game Week 15 selection. I know the Game Week 15 is not actually going to start until the 26th, but it gives us a couple of days to think about it. But I'm going to be telling you my transfers for this Game Week, how I'm going to set up, who I'm going to play as my captain, although we will do a captain's video tomorrow. And of course, we're going to reflect on my Game Week 14 score as well and see how I got on. Spoiler alert. Pretty good, not bad, and that is definitely adding to the festive spirits for me today. So, yes, indeed, I think we start off by going and having a look at last week's scores. But before we do that, please do make sure you give a big thumbs up, a big like on the video if you do enjoy my content. Really super helpful. So thank you so much for those of you who are continuing to like the videos. And of course, if you're new around here and you fancy subscribing, why not? Why not? Drop a little subscription on this channel. It's all in good festive fun. So, without further ado, let's have a look at last week's scores. So, as you can see, not a bad Game Week 14 score, 89 points. That's my highest score so far of this season. I'm sure a lot of you guys had some really high scores as well, depending on who you picked for your fantasy teams. So, really happy with that. We've had a huge rank boost. I think I've got up something like 300,000 places, which is just incredible. Halving a rank before Christmas. You know, I'm not going to turn that one down, not at all, and we're going to really start pushing on, particularly when we go to the double game week and the blank game week, because I've got a nice plan going into those game weeks. I can really see myself pushing into the top 100k sort of within the next 4 or 5 game weeks for sure. So, and it's definitely helped with this massive rank boost, and hopefully another couple of rank boosts over the next festive period. You're going to see how I set my team up in a minute, and yeah, I think you're going to like it. But for now, quick glance at this team, my Game Week 14 scores, and across the board, pretty good. So, 34 points for the captaincy on Fernandes. Turned out to be a great decision. Indeed, yeah, I was always pretty confident I was always going to captain Fernandes in this game week, so there was not really too much worry there. I always thought there was probably going to be a decent amount of points there against the Leeds side. Leeds just don't know how to defend. In fact, guys, going forward, if you've got a player playing against Leeds, then they're going to get some serious points, let me tell you that, if they're an attacking player. If they're a defensive player, perhaps not so much, because Leeds are getting some good attacking numbers. Just defensively, oh, it's tragic, isn't it? And that's why Fernandes was able to capitalise on that. So really nice there. Of course, Salah as well with the 16 points coming off the bench to get 2 goals and an assist. Who would have thought that he would be able to do that in 30 minutes? Only Mo Salah can do something like that, can't he? So amazing score from him as well. De Bruyne, a little bit disappointing again with just the 1 assist to take him to 5 points. We do expect a little bit more from him, but it wasn't to be. Maybe we can get some more points going forward with him. Grealish, 2 assists. I know one of them was the penalty assist. A really nice score there. And Cancelo turning out to be a bit of a legend for this team. I'm not going to lie. Really happy I brought him in. Every single game week, I look at Cancelo and I think, he's not going to start this game because he's going to be rotated, but every week he plays. Every week he is one of Man City's best players, and he's picking up clean sheets and, more importantly, bonus points on top of that as well to give me really nice score of 8. Obviously, Martinez is keeping his nice run of clean sheets going. He's turning out to be a really good goalkeeping option. I'm not sure long-term how many clean sheets he's going to be keeping over the next maybe 5 or 10 game weeks, but certainly we'll take the points that he's given us so far. Chilwell really is the big disappointment of this team. 1 point. Early injury on his birthday as well. On his birthday he got injured right at the start of the game. Taken off the pitch, and he just 1 point for Chilwell. Really disappointing because that could have been a nice clean sheet point there, and it could have even pushed me towards 100 points. Would have been nice to get my first 100 points of the season, but we'll march forward. I'm sure we'll get the 100 points before too long in one game week or another. So far, a little bit disappointing actually as well. West Ham defensive numbers dropping a little bit, looking a little bit worrying there. So not fully convinced by so far, but he does have the really nice double game week coming up, so I am definitely going to hold on to him. Don't worry about that. Zaha, a bit of a disappointment in the fact that Crystal Palace lost 7-0, was it? Absolutely crazy, but there was some nice chances that Crystal Palace forged early on in the game, which I did think Zaha looks pretty good. And I know, the most important stat of all is how many points a player gets, but I do like to take positives. I do try and maintain a positive attitude, and I'm not regretting my Zaha pick yet, and I'm going to see how many points he can get over the next couple of game weeks. I do think there are some points in there for him, definitely for sure, 100%. Statistically, he's still looking really good, so happy with him going forward. Just kind of disappointing he couldn't get at that Liverpool right hand side. Just Liverpool blasted them away, didn't they? And Dominic Calvert-Lewin getting his usual points, and Morpay in his final game week, he's got the highest score he's ever scored for me. I mean, I wish I was exaggerating, but Morpay has never once since he's been in my team scored more than 2 points. So 2 points is his joint best score for me in his final game week. Yes, go on, Morpay. I mean, actually, I'm not even going to try and be positive about that one because it's just tragic. It's just tragic. The biggest mistake in this fantasy team all year is bringing in this guy, and we're going to take him out next game week. This was always going to be his last game week, so yeah, we'll come on to that very shortly. But there you go. There we go, guys. 89 points. I can't complain. There was a couple of trip-ups, a couple of disappointments, but overall, I can't complain. A massive score, a really impressive score, and a score that's going to really propel me on as the season goes forward. So really super happy with that. And of course, the festive fun must continue, of course. So let's move on to how I'm going to set up for next game week 15. So blank canvas, blank pitch, new me, new game week, all of that jazz. And yeah, although arguably I don't really want to start afresh after last game week. Really nice score. So hopefully more of the same, please. And I think I'm set up pretty well this game week. We'll start at the back and we'll start with Martinez in goal. He's up to 4.9 million now, so people clearly recognising how many points that he's picking up recently. He's got a game at home against Crystal Palace, could potentially be quite good. I do think, and I know you're going to say, well, you've got Zaha playing against him. We'll come to that. But, I'll take either or. It's either going to be Zaha gets some goal contributions or Martinez gets a clean sheet. It will be one or the other, so I'm happy with that. And it's a good opportunity for Aston Villa to get a clean sheet there. Aston Villa actually really kind of surprising me with the defensive numbers they're putting up. Looking one of the best teams in the league defensively. Them and Man City are posting the best defensive numbers, so I'm definitely going to expect some clean sheets if it wasn't for the fixtures turning a little bit worse over the next couple of game weeks. But we'll see what happens there. Maybe they can keep some clean sheets. And then there's always save points as well that Martinez does offer there. So quite nice. And let's move on to defence. We'll start off with Cancelo. Again, this is going to be a situation, and I know he played in the League Cup midweek on Tuesday, but if he plays on Tuesday and then, he doesn't have to play again till Saturday, that's a decent amount of rest time, to be fair. And I know a lot of people are thinking, well, Cancelo's definitely getting rested this week. There's no way he starts again this week. He's playing too many games in a row. But what we're not really considering is that he's playing so many games in a row for a reason. He's clearly a really important player for Manchester City and for Pep Guardiola. I do expect him to kind of continue playing, and I will always have this doubt in my mind, okay, maybe he doesn't start this game week, but I keep getting proven wrong and he keeps starting, so really happy. And a game against Newcastle, if he does start that, there's a really strong chance of a clean sheet there, an incredible chance for the clean sheet, good chance of goal contribution from Cancelo, because as we know, he plays pretty much as a midfielder, tucking inside of the wingers, whether he's playing on the left or the right hand side. And yeah, he gets points, hopefully bonus points as well. And moving on to Kyle Walker-Peters against Fulham away. Again, a nice fixture. So already you're starting to see this shape up a little bit. Kyle Walker-Peters, he's been kind of, earlier on in the season, has been getting quite a lot of bonus points when his team keeps a clean sheet. He's getting the odd assist as well. Not expecting massive amount of things for him, but remember, he's only 4.7 million. Southampton in general have been pretty average in defence, sometimes good, sometimes bad, but mostly around the middle. So let's see how they can do against Fulham, but definitely a clean sheet is on the cards there. And then finally, Sofal in defence up against Brighton and Hove Albion. Sofal's been a bit of a legend for this team, but unfortunately, like I said earlier, West Ham's defensive numbers are slipping pretty harshly. So again, luckily it's against Brighton, and I have no faith in the Brighton attack. Trust me, as a Morpay owner, I have no faith in the Brighton attack. It's just not quite clicking there. And And West Ham do have a defensive ability in them. If they've just been slipping recently, whether they can claw that back, I'm not sure. It's a kind of a wait-and-see scenario, but still, good fixture, really good opportunity for another clean sheet. So that could easily, guys, be 4 out of 4 clean sheets there. Looking at that, that's 6 points each, 24 points total just from 4 players in the low-scoring players, and then we've got bonus points on top of that. Maybe, no doubt 1 or 2 of them doesn't get a clean sheet, but still looks really positive. So moving on into midfield, and we've got Mo Salah, and this is the star of this game week for sure. In game week 15, Salah against West Brom is going to be amazing. Now, I know West Brom have been able to shut out opponents a little bit, particularly opponents higher up the table. They've been able to shut them out fairly well by kind of playing a low block, playing really defensively. But that kind of doesn't work against Liverpool. It works against some of the other teams, but Liverpool seem to have this ability to cut through even these low block teams. And I think that's what makes this Liverpool team so special, is that they can deal with anything that is put in front of them. Mo Salah obviously didn't start the last game week. He's had no midweek game, so we're going to say he's definitely going to start against West Brom. It's a home game. We know what Salah can do at home. Always really, really, really nice. And yeah, he's in amazing form as well. So this seems like really, really perfect. West Brom, defensive numbers, still one of the worst in the league. They've just kind of been able to scrape through against some of the bigger opponents. But I do expect them to concede goals here. I think this is going to be another big score for Liverpool and for Salah. So that's going to be huge, really huge. Probably the most important player to own this game week is going to be Salah. And then moving on to De Bruyne. I know a lot of people are shipping De Bruyne out, trying to sell KDB. I'm not about that life. He's got Newcastle at home. He's starting every single game in the Premier League. Pep thinks he's super important. He's not going to drop him. He's going to keep playing and keep playing, kept playing in this advanced position. If Man City can start scoring a couple more goals, taking their chances a little bit more, if De Bruyne in particular can start taking a few more of his chances and hitting the target a little bit more, and I do think he will be able to do that. He sort of hit the crossbar a couple of times, things like that, got kind of unlucky, close calls. Some keepers have made some good saves against him. There's definitely points on the cards for him. I'm not too sure if I want to own him long term because he is so expensive. But certainly this game against Newcastle, after Salah, I would probably say De Bruyne is probably going to be the second highest scoring player of this game week. Out of the guys we expect anyway. Obviously, there's always a random player who randomly scores really high that no one can really predict. McTominay last week, it was a good example of that. But De Bruyne are going to have a really good game, I think. Really confident about this one as well. So moving on to Fernandes against Leicester. A little bit worrying, actually. I mean, I'm not worried as in I want to own Fernandes. I know he's a fantastic player. I want to have him long term and I do expect him to get points. But Leicester have been doing really, really well against the classic big teams, the bigger teams. They've been doing really well against them. And therefore, I don't know, maybe Fernandes is not going to have the best game of recent weeks. He's had some amazing scores recently, some goals, some assists. I don't think he'll be getting a monster haul this game week, but there's always a massive chance of him getting one goal, one assist, something like that. So let's see what happens there, but I do expect good things for sure. And then Grealish is creating a monster amount of chances. He's got 2 assists last game. Some people are ditching him, some people are buying him in. People can't really just decide whether they want Grealish or not. But Crystal Palace, having just conceded 7 goals, that's kind of showing maybe their defence is not in the best place. Grealish is kind of this driving force in this Aston Villa team. I know he's not on set pieces and stuff like that, which some people worry about, but he creates so many chances in open play, more than pretty much any other player. Maybe De Bruyne is creating a similar amount of chances, Fernandes is creating a similar amount of chances. But after that, it's Grealish in terms of assists. We would perhaps like to see him score a couple of goals as well. I mean, not a couple of goals in this game week, but a couple more goals in general. But that could definitely happen as well, because he's just Aston Villa's best player by far. They're always looking to seek him out, and I definitely think he can definitely get some points against Crystal Palace. So really looking forward to that. And then finally in midfield, we've got Zaha, who, disappointing last game week in terms of score, but I don't think he failed the eye test or anything like that. I still think he looked pretty good up until the point where, Crystal Palace were out of the game, which is kind of fair enough. But early on in the game, quite like the look of him. I think of one particular chance. I think Ayew could have passed the ball to him a little bit better, and Zaha would have scored that chance for sure. So against Aston Villa, who are, like I said, looking pretty good defensively, I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen, but I do back Zaha. Let's see what he can do. You never know. If Crystal Palace is scoring, you know that Zaha is very likely to be involved in that. So clean sheet for Martinez. or something for Zaha. I'd be happy either way. Sometimes you've got to hedge your bets a little bit, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing. And then going up front, we've got Dominic Calvert-Lewin. They Mr. Consistency, scores points every single game week. We know what he's like. I know he only got 4 points last game week because of that yellow card right at the end of the game. Super frustrating, by the way. But 4 points, nonetheless, every single game week he seems to be getting an assist or a goal. It's amazing, isn't it? The consistency that Dominic Calvert-Lewin is showing. And against Sheffield United, which you would say is a really, really nice fixture, there's definitely some points there as well. And then finally, we're going to round off the team with someone who's not going to stay in the team, who is going to be transferred out, and that is Neil Maupay, up against West Ham United away. And I know I'm going to transfer him out. And you know what, guys? Guaranteed, as soon as I transfer him out, he's going to score. And you guys are going to absolutely light up my Twitter feed with notifications. More pages scored. More pages scored. Fair enough. I mean, I'll have to take it, but he's going to come out of my team. I don't know if I'm cursed. I don't know if he's cursed. But me and Maupay, we got a toxic relationship. We got a strong bond, but it's a toxic relationship, and he's got to go because he's not scoring me points. I wish I could have got rid of him earlier, but we've had so many injury issues. I know we've got the Chilwell injury issue, which you can see now on the bench. Alongside Forster, never going to play. Brewster, if he comes on for 1 point, he's the 1 point bandit, so he could come on for 1 point if needs be. And then the ever-present, ever-injured Ferguson completes that bench there. But I could transfer out Chilwell, or I could transfer out Maupay. Chilwell's going to be out for 2 weeks. I think I can manage without him for 2 weeks. I've got enough defensive cover there, I think. And then it's just a case of, well, am I going to transfer out Maupay? Yes, definitely. I think I could definitely make more points by transferring out Maupay and just sitting on Chilwell, because I do want to keep Chilwell for those double game weeks that are coming up in game week 19. And he's definitely going to be fit and ready for those games. I think he really, realistically, only misses 2 games. And this game's against Arsenal, so I wouldn't necessarily want to be playing him anyway. So we'll see there. We will see, but Maupay is going to be going out. And the player that I am going to be bringing in for Maupay is Che Adams. So for those of you who have been around here long enough, you will know that Che Adams is the player I transferred out to get Maupay. Maupay has scored 0 points since I got him in. He was on great form. I brought him in. He scored no points since. And Adams hadn't scored any points in the few game weeks I owned him at the beginning of the season. I transferred him out, and then suddenly he was scoring loads of points every single game week. And it was kind of like, oh my God, what have I done? So, better late than never. We're going to try and rectify the mistake, bring Adams back in against Fulham. Fulham, of course, lacking there. I can't remember his name. Is it Anderson? Their main centre-back, who's been looking really good, really strong. He's not going to be playing in this game, so that could give Southampton an opportunity to score more goals. Adams, I know he doesn't have Ings alongside him, but maybe that makes him the main striker. When Ings has not been playing, Adams' points, they didn't drop off. In the 3 games that Ings didn't play in, Adams actually scored a goal in 1 game and got an assist in another game, blanked the 3rd game. But that's still pretty good returns for someone who is only 6 million. Remember, we've got to manage our expectations when we're dealing with these really cheap players. We can't expect monster hauls every game week. But Adams, I've really admired his consistency. He's sort of been like 5.6 points every single game week, maybe the odd 2-pointer when he's blanked there, but still pretty consistently over a long period of time, actually getting some really nice points. Of course, he has the double game week in game week 19 as well, so he's one of the players I'm bringing in to target that double game week as well, just to pad out my team with as many double game week players as I possibly can. So overall, you look at this team, guys, and you think, wow, there are no red fixtures. I mean, arguably you could call Fernandes Leicester away a red fixture, but Leicester have been conceding a few goals. They've kind of conceded 2. How many goals did they concede against Liverpool? Was it 3? They conceded 2 goals to Everton, 2 goals to Fulham, 1 goal to Sheffield United. This has all been fairly recently as well. So I do think they can be goals scored against them. I'm just not expecting Bruno Fernandes to batter them. And then Zaha against Aston Villa, that's kind of tough-ish as well, that away game. But other than that, look at this team, guys. I don't want to jinx it. This is pretty good. And it's going to look even better when we slap the captain's armband on Mo Salah for the festive armband of the year. And then De Bruyne, we're going to give him the vice-captain as well, because like I said, I really like that game against Newcastle in the off chance that Salah doesn't play. But obviously, I do think that Salah is really going to play. So vice-captain is not really going to matter too much. But, you know, just for the sake of showing you who I think is going to score the most points, definitely let's do that. So, it's a great team. It's a great team. The concern is that maybe, you know, one of the defenders doesn't play and I don't have any cover on the bench. Everyone else, I'm pretty happy with. I'm pretty happy with that, guys. I really am. So, 89 points last game week. I think we could genuinely do something similar this game week. I honestly would not be surprised if this team returned 70, 75 points plus. Wouldn't be surprised at all. You know, Salah can easily grab 2 goals here, maybe even 3, 2 goals and an assist, something like that. And maybe even a clean sheet to top it off, 3 bonus points. It's going to look crazy, isn't it? Especially with that captain's armband on him. So, yeah, overall, wow. What a team. What a journey this FPL journey is. And, yeah, looking forward to seeing what I can produce this game week. Come on, guys, let's go. So, that is pretty much the end of the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please do give it a festive like on the video. If you are new around here, please do subscribe. And I suppose I better say Merry Christmas to you guys if I don't see you sooner. Like, I am going to make a captain's video tomorrow. I know not all of you watch the captain's videos, but you will have a couple of days to watch that if you want to have a look at that. But if this is the last time I see you, Merry Christmas to all of you. I hope you can have a wonderful time. I know a lot of you guys are going to be in lockdown restrictions and stuff. I hope you can make the most of it anyway. And, you know, sending my love and best wishes to all of you guys. I hope you just can stay healthy and try and make the most of it as you can. And if you want to continue to chat with me over the festive period, I will be very active over Twitter as I'm bored with nothing to do, can't go out, no work to do. You know, maybe playing some Xbox. I'll definitely be on Twitter, so do join me on Twitter at FPLMate if you fancy that. The link is also in the description there, as is my Instagram, Mini League, and Patreon. So go check those out. But aside from that, guys, I will see you on tomorrow's captain selection video for Game Week 15. And yeah, I'll see you later, mates. Merry Christmas. Bye bye.